Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh! Like, I don't even know.
Did you even do the 5 seconds? Yes.
I did the 5. Hold on.
Okay.
I did the 5 seconds, and woo. Well, first of all, it was so exciting because.
Wait, no. First of all, thank you for being here, and thank you to our fabulous sponsors, which is why we wanted to make sure
I was going to get into it.
Oh, okay.
Because I got several.
That lady's yelling at the screen again.
Yeah. I got several messages with pictures of Old Salt coffee. So people are buying the Old Salt coffee, and I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart because you're helping veterans. So every time I see you guys send me a picture of a bag of coffee, I know that we have donated $1 to our veterans.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I'm very happy and proud to be a part of Old Salt Coffee. We were in their hood this last week. And then, of course, Aztec Chevrolet, always taking care of us. I do know that they have warned me. I have been hiding the truck. They have warned me that they're going to sell my truck.
It's a good one. It's nice.
If you're looking for a GMC Denali, all right.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It's a beautiful
It's
truck.
not navy blue, but it's not bright blue. It's like this really pretty blue
and it's
color.
it's the AT4 trim, the hot rod trim of it, right? I mean, it's a beautiful truck, and if anybody's going to sell it, it'll be me. So if you guys are looking for that truck, it is a 2019, so it's not brand new, but it's brand new.
Yeah. Oh my
right?
God. Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So thank you, Aztec Chevrolet, and shoot us a message, and I will send you right over to Aztec. All right, I'll take the pictures myself and send them to you if you're interested, and then I'll sell the truck, and I'll also get commission on selling that. We had such a crazy week.
Yeah.
Crazy week.
If an eyelash like falls off, if I have a wonky eyelash, it's because I'm still wearing my makeup from last night's award show.
Well, I mean, we left Wednesday because ice storm's coming through.
Yeah.
We got to be in La Jolla at the Comedy Store.
We talked about it because we literally like podcasted, and then we were like, we're packing and getting on a plane tonight.
We're gone.
And we almost thought our plane wasn't going to get out. Like they were shutting down the airport.
And the thing I want to talk about, because you guys see 4 chairs, you see 4 mics, so we have some very special guests with us that we want to talk to. But before we get into that, going back to keeping this podcast as real as possible, and I've been thinking about this, and I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because, and I also think that because of Instagram, because of Facebook and social media in general, people put out this perfect world.
Sure. I mean, I want to look at beautiful, pretty pictures, right?
They always show, they don't ever show you the hard times. And
we don't show pictures of us fighting. But we do it on the podcast.
But that's where I was getting to. Like,
this is the forum for that.
It is hard. It has been so hard to travel. I mean, when we traveled with just Garrett, it was easy. And I don't want to say easy, but it was easier.
No, it was for sure easier.
And then Delilah has come, and now we have 2, and Garrett's 6, and by the way, Garrett's an amazing kid.
Yeah.
Right? And it's still, I mean, it has been...
Well, even just like the nature of travel, right? Like we started at one gate today, got moved to another gate, like way out BFE, and then got moved back to our original gate. And Garrett's like, what is going on? And why do I have to walk so much? Like...
Well, and I mean, and then we, it's just, it's becoming hard.
Yeah.
And it really bumps me out. And I've got to work at night, and then I've got to wake up and be daddy. And then, we always try, because we had help. We had Mom and Miss Dora and Grandpa Arthur with us. We're like, all right, well, let's have a husband-wife date night. But then that turns into, which, by the way, oh my God. We come home to chaos. You come home.
Oh yeah, in San Diego.
So Mom and Art are watching the kids. Renae comes to see me at the Comedy Store to have drinks.
Yeah.
Hang out with our friends
I go
Ryan
to the first
and
store.
Giselle.
Yeah. First show.
First show. And have some drinks, and we're entertaining people. My manager's there and a bunch of people, and then you're like, okay, well, I'll go home.
I'm going to call it.
I'll call it a night.
You do your second show.
So then I wasn't there. Tell me what you walked into.
Well, I felt bad for you. I get off the elevator of the condo building and there's like a big courtyard in the middle. And then the condo we stay in is on the other side. I get off the elevator and I hear Garrett screaming and crying, like echoing through the courtyard
and it's
of this
like
condo
11.
building. Yeah.
No, it's like 10:30.
He definitely should have been asleep. Yes.
So Grandpa Arthur, I'll pick it up from here.
Yeah.
Grandpa Arthur decided, and sweetly,
yes,
Garrett's passed out on the sofa. Grandpa Arthur decides to carry him to the bed, trips over a luggage.
The wheels on the luggage.
The luggage, drops Garrett.
Yes.
Garrett's freaking the fuck out. Wakes up Delilah.
Yeah, because Delilah's in the pack and play. So when I come in, Garrett's screaming his head off, and your mom is like in hysterics, so worried about him, rubbing his head, trying to calm him down. And you can tell she's panicked too.
Miss Dora's crying.
Yes.
Arthur feels horrible.
Art's like just so somber and like not saying anything. And Delilah's standing up in the pack and play over the edge, like screaming and crying too. And I'm like,
so then you text. I got a second show to do. You text me and you're like, hey, I don't know what to do. He's freaking out.
I couldn't calm him down.
Couldn't calm him down.
So then your mom won't calm down. Grandma Dora's crying.
And I mean, this is all I need. I'm at work. I'm about to start a show. They're freaking out at home. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what do I do? And then the worst of it all, right before I walk on stage, you text me. I have not been able to calm him down. He's complaining that his head hurts.
I didn't know if he was still losing it and saying he was in so much pain. And your mom kept touching his head and she'd say he has a bump and he'd scream, don't touch it. And I was like, I don't know if I let this kid go to sleep. Does he have a concussion? Do I need to keep him awake? Like, I didn't know what happened because I walked in and the situation was like
chaos.
Yes, it was so escalated.
And then I felt horrible and I took it out on the audience, but I go, I'm sorry, guys, I can't do meet and greet tonight. Like, I'm sorry, I want to go straight home. Like, yeah. I don't know what's going on with my son. I don't know what's going on at the house right now. I wanted to do my show because I knew that there was no blood. There was,
right.
I did my show, but I want to get home. I want to get to my family.
I mean, I was also worried about Grandpa Art. He's 70.
He's 80.
Right. And like, the fall had to hurt him, and I know he would like braced himself upon impact so that he didn't smush Garrett because he's a big tall man. And I felt so bad, and I because I told the audience, and a woman laughed. I go, guys, I gotta go home. My son's not well. Like, I gotta go. Yeah. And then some woman was laughing, and I go, don't laugh. Like, it's not fucking funny. Like, I'm up here on stage, freaking out. I get home, I wake Garrett up. And then it was scary. Well, that's the other thing. I finally got him to sleep. Poor kid's been woken up because he gets dropped on the floor. Finally goes back to sleep, and then you come in and wake him up. And wake him up again, and he's exhausted. But I know that when a kid hits his head, you cannot let him go to sleep. So I wanted to spend a few minutes just talking to him, making sure that he was alert and aware and moving his toes and his fingers, and I didn't see any visual marks. Right. I didn't see a big bump, but when I got there, he you could tell where he impacted his shoulder on the floor probably, and then I guess there was that pump on the back of his head. So I talked to him about it, and I'm like, hey, where are you right now? And he would go, San Diego, Well, no. First you started asking, at first it was scary, and he was like, I don't know. But he was also still asleep. He was in a dead sleep. And then you're like, what's my name? And he's like, Dad. And you're like, no, what's my name? And then you point to me, what's her name? And he's like, Mom. And you're like, no, what's her name? Name. But then you asked him what my phone number was, and he could spout that out. So we were like, okay. But, Renae and I ended up in somewhat of an argument because, it's just hard. You know what I learned this week? I learned that traveling with kids is very hard. I don't know. I honestly, at this very moment, I don't know how realistic it is for us and our family and our marriage moving forward. But I did really learn this week that you are for sure a family man to the core at your heart, because we talked about, let's take Betty, right? That probably would have been easier than taking your parents, but you said, no, How much time do our kids have with their grandparents? Like,
it's important.
We need to carve out time for that and embrace that. And so for us and our life, that means they've got to come on the road with us. Right? So there's that. And then we go to the Pollstar Awards, and our 2 children were for sure the only kids I saw
at the Beverly Hilton
entire time at the hotel. Yes. In the hotel, not just at like this, at the Pollstar event, like at the hotel, period.
Well, and that's what's hard too, is it's like, you're tired.
Yeah.
And then I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I have to go to work. Like, after I spent the day being dad at Legoland,
yeah,
I now have to go to work, which, by the way, that was Thursday. I now have to go to work. I have to do a show Thursday. Then I got to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to run around all day doing press.
Yeah.
To then come home, be daddy again, and then go out and do 2 shows. So, it's one of those things where there are moments, and I'm going to admit it on this podcast, there are moments where I'm like, fuck, man, like, I don't know if I can do it.
Well, sure. No one's sleeping well. When you kids don't sleep well when you travel, and then Delilah wakes up periodically through the night. We're all stuck in one little room. Like,
I'm like,
no matter how loud I put that sound machine, no one's going to sleep well.
I mean, there's moments where, being honest on the podcast right now, where I go, man, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, me and the wife, we're angry. We're tired. We're trying to be the best parents we can. And we're trying to do the best, but then,
and I feel, and honestly, I feel like I can parent better at home.
Right. I mean, but don't get me wrong. And then there's moments where I don't want to come home to an empty hotel room. Right. I want to, and there's moments, what was it yesterday, because I had the Pollstar Awards to host.
Yeah.
You guys were like, all right, we'll get out of here. We'll go to the mall or whatever.
I took the kids to the Santa Monica Pier.
We'll go to Santa Monica Pier. We'll leave you alone, let you have your space. And it's crazy how much I miss the chaos. Like, you guys leave and you give me my moment, and then I'm like, I miss my family. But having that second kid, man, it's hard. Like, I mean, I'm telling you right now. And I want you guys to know that we're not going to give up. We're not going to quit. We're not gonna go, all right, that's it. No more traveling with the family, because that's not fair to Delilah. And we got to be better.
I don't know. It's hard. I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Things are going to be different with Delilah and Garrett. They're very different situations. Garrett was born in LA and lived in, a small 2-bedroom house, and Delilah's upbringing is going to be very different than his, no matter what. And so if that means he got to travel with us and she didn't, I know I used to not feel that way, but like, babe, this week was rough.
It was hard, man. And it was hard on us as a couple. It was hard on the kids at some points. But I mean, I don't want to be on this podcast and say it was all bad. It was not all bad.
No, I mean, look, our kids got to play on the beach and got to go out on our friend Dawn and Jeff's boat. And we had a lovely time with them doing that. And Delilah did great on the boat. And
the Legoland was amazing. We had an amazing day.
We practiced. We had lovely weather. There were no lines. It was like we had Legoland to ourselves. It was wonderful. There were lots of wonderful parts.
But I think that's the thing about, parenting is that there are moments where you want to throw in the towel and you want to be lazy, right?
No, but baby, it's not for me. It's not even about being lazy. It's the fact that like it is a stressful situation, and your job is a stressful situation, and it creates a lot of tension and stress. And when I'm at home parenting the kids, it's easier.
No, I get it. And when I'm at home with the kids, it's easier, right? Because I can wrap up the night. I can put them to bed. Me and you can have our moment. Because our kids go to bed early. Our kids are in bed by 7:30. So we have our husband and wife moment in the evening to go, right?
Yeah.
We have the, right?
Yeah.
On the road, I don't get I've got to shower. I got to get ready. I got to go do a show. I got to wake up and do press. I got to, there is no, for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the opposite side of it is me with the kids. It's they wake up in the morning and don't say anything and let daddy sleep and put your headphones on and hurry, let's get dressed and get out of the apartment, out of the room, and leave the lights off. And that's not fun for them either,
right. But we are not going to give up on trying to be good parents and trying to give our children experiences.
Yeah.
I think that it's amazing. Delilah's development is moving along very fast.
Yeah.
What was she saying today on the plane that was just killing everybody?
She was waving at everyone saying hi when we were waiting to get on the plane. Oh, open and close. Open and close with the window.
So she was
up and down. She kept saying. That's what she was saying.
Up and down. She said Arthur this weekend, Grandpa Arthur.
Yeah.
So her development's doing great. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we do take her out. We do things. We do travel. Yeah. So we are, the Treviño circus on the road we're not hanging it up. We're not hanging it up.
It's just definitely trickier with two.
And very quickly, the Pollstar Awards. For those of you that don't know, it is.
Can I show this? Yes. Look at this.
That's not me.
That's Pitbull on the cover, but the headline right here says, "Meet Pollstar Awards host Steve Treviño." Okay, let me open it to your page while you talk. I'll find that.
And it's a very inside industry thing. The Pollstar, they keep track of ticket sales. They keep track of the people that tour. And for me to host these awards, it was my agency's way of saying, here's a guy that sells a lot of tickets that you should know. So it's going to lead to some really cool things. And then, look at that.
There's your beautiful mug.
So here's what we're going to do. The podcast is going to air on Friday. The first 3 people that send me pictures that they have bought Old Salt coffee, I'm going to autograph one of these magazines and I'm going to send it to them.
Those 3 people. We're giving out 3 Pollstar magazines.
The first 3 people. And the winner, we already announced the winner on the limo trip and wine trip with us. So if you didn't get a phone call, if you didn't see anything for you, you did not win, but you still won because you gave money to our veterans. And we will do it again next year. But the Pollstar Awards was awesome. And it was really cool to reconnect with Pitbull. We had dinner with him on Monday night. And was it Monday night?
I was like, what night was it? Yes.
It was Monday night.
Today? Where are we? Yeah.
And it was just so much fun to go back in time and me and Pitt laughing and talking about all the crazy shit we were doing when
you both must have really good memories because y'all were sharing. We're both sharing stories.
And it was so much fun to reconnect. And over the years, I see Pitt quickly. It's a high five. It's a hug.
Yeah.
Maybe I see him after a show. Yeah. Maybe he comes to my show, right? And he's in and out. He's Mr. 305. He's Mr. Worldwide. People mob him. For real, mob him. So over the years, we haven't really had a chance to truly reconnect, have a laugh together. So it was really nice Monday night to sit there. We had a private VIP celebrity room. And man, we ate dinner. We had drinks. We laughed. And it is uncanny how much we think alike.
How similar.
Did that trip you out?
Very similar personalities. Yeah.
Did it not? Like every once in a while, Renae would go, like she'd hit me on the leg. Like Pitt would say something about philosophy or the way he sees the world or the way he attacks business or this industry. And Renae would go, oh my God. And it was really a breath of fresh air to go, I think we're friends, right?
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
We had become friends. We see each other. And then to go all this time and go, man, I don't even know if we're still friends, right? I mean, do we see eye to eye, right?
Yeah.
And it was really cool that we did. So this is a Valentine's Day special episode.
Yes, because this will come out on Friday and then is Super Bowl Sunday and then Valentine's Day.
Yes. If you notice, I am wearing a Texas Rangers hat. Do you want to grab them real quick?
Yeah, I'll grab them.
I'm very excited. My stuff too. The starting catcher for the Texas Rangers, Jose Trevino, is here. And his beautiful fiancée, Markie. We invited them on the show because, they live a similar life that we live. And Jose is, Jose's not coming in. He's just not coming in. Oh, there he is.
Will you just shut the door behind you, Jose?
I can already tell, Jose, that you're going to marry a woman just like mine. She completely left you behind.
I'm sorry about that.
I wouldn't even consider it as to, well, maybe.
It's all right. I'm used to it.
Well, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
I was going to say, don't scoot too far away because you won't be on camera.
I don't want to be on camera.
Come back
so
this way.
I want to start off by saying that a couple things. Number one, congratulations on making it to the league.
Thank you.
I would have to say that 60 to 70% of every little boy in America grows up and says, I'm going to be a big leaguer. And you did it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
On that. And then one of the things that I've grown to admire about you, even though you are a young man, the love you have for Markie. Yeah. And I remember you, we've hung out together, had a good time together, and Markie was there. And you guys together have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like we do.
Yeah.
So how did it go down? Who hit on who?
She hit on me. I'm just kidding.
She's like, wait a minute.
It was,
well, how did y'all meet?
Tinder. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Swipe right?
No, I don't want to say. It's not a knock on anybody. I'm just kidding. No, we met at...
it was my sister's 30th birthday party in Benbolt, Texas.
Benbolt?
I don't even know where that is.
That's good. You never need to know. You don't need to know.
Has a stoplight or two now.
You'll drive 2 miles and be in and out of it.
Yeah.
Literally.
So it was her 30th birthday party. I was home from college. I think it was was it Christmas break?
No, it was October.
It was September.
September.
Her birthday, yeah. So September, her birthday party, Bimble, and I was home from school. You were home from
the season. I just finished a minor league season. I was like, oh, dude, I'm hot shit right now.
Chest out to here.
I had a good year.
I'm a star in Benbolt.
That's what I was like, oh,
seriously.
I'm like, I got it. We're good.
So,
but who did you know?
Well, our families knew one of her family members, and they were kind of like...
Somebody grew up on the same street that he did that we're related to, so he was invited with his mom.
I got invited.
To the 30th birthday party with your mama?
But everybody was like, well, this is why, because...
Oh, there was a plan.
Right, so
behind
leading
closed
up
doors, there was a plan.
To the party.
It's an arranged marriage.
I'll let her say her side.
You're jumping the gun.
I'll let her say her side,
Hang on.
and then I'll say what was going on my side. So it was definitely arranged. Definitely arranged.
Yeah, I think so. So I have 3 older sisters. Everyone's planning the party, and they keep talking about this guy that's going to be at the party. And they're like, you got to meet him. He plays baseball. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, what is, I didn't even know what that meant. I just.
Like in high school?
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Just, I didn't think anything past just baseball.
Right.
And so I knew he was going to be there. And I showed up. I actually had a boyfriend at the time.
You showed up with a boyfriend?
I did.
Not
him.
No, I know, but you showed up with a boyfriend.
I did. I was in a relationship in college, and
you can never trust her now.
So, even though I had a boyfriend, my sisters were still drilling it in my head. You got to meet this guy. So I show up, I see him there.
But has anybody told you anything about her?
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Boyfriend's there for a little bit. Boyfriend leaves.
Dummy.
And then
sucker.
And my sisters right away just run over and they're like, so are you going to go say hi? And I said, no, he's going to come say hi to me.
Before you go, we'll meet at this part.
You and Renae are the same.
We'll meet.
Now, why would I go to him?
We'll meet at this part. So I'm home. Just like I said, I just came back from season. I'm like, oh boy, like I'm going to be the next star, like whatever. Thinking way more ahead of myself. And they're like, you got to come to this party, you got to come to this birthday party. And I'm like, why would I go to a birthday party in Bimble, Texas when I can just go and drive 40 minutes to Corpus and go out and have a good time with my friends?
In a big city.
Yeah, like why would I?
Yeah.
And like, I'm just like, no, I don't want to go. I'm not going to go. And sure enough, my mom's like, hey, dude, you're going to come hang out for a little bit and then you can go to Corpus. So I had one of my good friends with me. And he's like, all right, we'll go for a little bit and then we'll go out and
We're bouncing. We're going.
Yeah, and we'll leave.
Right.
We'll literally just go and we'll leave. So I get to the party. I'm sitting there. I get there first. So I'm hanging out. I'm already like having some drinks. I'm kind of like, all right, what time? Like,
what's up? What's the deal?
when are we?
Right.
Are we leaving? Is she coming? Like, what's going on? So sure enough, I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like watching around. All I see is like a pretty girl walking in front of me.
So he was expecting me, I say.
Yeah, I was expecting her.
I knew you were going to be there.
Yeah. So she walks in and I'm like, oh. Whoa. And then behind her, I
would have expected to see this shit in Ben Bolts.
So behind her, I see like someone walking and I'm like, oh, that looks like a fight.
Right.
Perfect. All right. That's great. So whatever time goes on, I keep drinking. I'm kind of like, all right. I see her because I'm like, all right, I'm kind of nervous, like a little bit nervous.
Right.
Like I'm like, all right, I got to talk to her. So sure enough, dude gets up, leaves. And they're like, and then everybody's like, are you going to go say hi to her? And I'm like,
the pressure was on. Like, everyone was just pressuring us.
Oh, it was
and we're like, what the heck?
Like,
so he never came to say hi. And I was already kind of buzzing. And I said, I'm going to go offer him a shot. So I walked over.
So you hit on him.
And it was a fiesta theme party. So I walked
Racist.
over. Well, it's all going to make sense. So I walked over. I said, hey, let's take a shot. I think your friend J Flo was there. We all took a shot, and I asked him to sign a maraca.
Do you remember what shot we took?
It was hypnotic or Fireball. I think both.
It was I think we took 2 shots. It was probably both.
Yeah.
But you wanted an autograph.
Well, that was like the only thing I could think of asking or talking about, because everyone's like baseball player, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ask for his autograph if he's so good.
Right.
So I took a maraca, and I still have that maraca. It's like a little plastic maraca, and he signed it. We took a couple of shots.
I say like 4 or 5 shots. We took some shots.
So you ended up partying that night together.
No.
Well, it ended early, like he ended up leaving. He went to Corpus.
Where's your head?
So
where's your head at this point, right? Are you like, oh my God, she's beautiful.
Dude, yes. Like I was like, and my buddy knew her family because my buddy was from out. So he's like, yeah, that's Markie. And I'm like, what's her Instagram? Like, what's her name? He's like, oh, this. I was like, all right, try this. I'm like, all right.
So she hooked you. She got you.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. The eyes, bro. Look at the eyes. I'm telling you, the eyes. So sure enough, we get done with the night. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, Mom, this girl's so beautiful. Like,
and I love your mom too.
Oh my gosh,
she's so aggressive.
Hilarious.
Your mom's so aggressive.
She's like, I told you. And I'm like, yeah, Mom. I'm like, dang, dude, she was so pretty. Like, wow, she was so beautiful. I just kept saying that, so I shot her a message. We'll leave that out of it. We'll leave that. We'll leave those details.
My DMs.
I shot her a message. A nice casual message, like
of your baseball bat.
But remember. Okay.
So it was just like, hey, it was really nice to meet you last night.
Let me reverse a little bit. So you are at this point minor leagues. Who you playing for?
2017, 2016. I was with the High Desert Mavericks High. So I had just
you were shipped off.
I won Player of the Year that year for the Rangers minor league organization. Like, I won a Gold Glove that year in the minor league. Dude, I'm telling you, like,
but you were living.
He was
long
feeling
distance.
very hot shit.
I was still in Alice. I had spent my off seasons in Alice still.
Okay.
So I was there at my mom's and dad's, just going to work out in Corpus. But I was getting ready to blow up. So I was like, oh, dude, this is great.
So the relationship, you were able to start something real
right before it got
When did you break up with the dude?
Well, so he slid in my DMs. We'll rewind. And again, I was in a relationship, so it didn't automatically start, right away. I went back to school.
I went to the fall league.
He went back to
I went to Arizona
baseball.
because the fall league you get picked to play with a bunch of players from every team, and it's like 4 or 5 players from every team, and you play on one team. It's like an all-star team, pretty much. And you play for a month, and it's like the highest talent. If you go to this league, you're like 85%, 90%.
All studs.
You're gonna make it to the big leagues. So I went there to go play. She went back to school.
Let me ask you, like, playing baseball your whole life, how excited are you when you're like, oh my God, this could be happening.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Like you said, as a little kid, like I was Garrett's age, and I was like, I'm gonna play on TV. I'm gonna be a big leaguer. Like I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Even I never thought like
how much work it took, and
like I never thought like it was really gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen, but like at that age, I was just saying it.
There's still a shot that a million things can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. Twist my ankle, like whatever.
So you go to this league, you meet Markie. I mean, your whole life is starting
right there, right then and there.
Here.
And then, so I come back, and when you finish the fall league, I think it's around like Thanksgiving. So end of November, my birthday area. So we start talking again.
So almost a year. Between us just going back to our lives. I went back to
just
school,
going back to like
him back in baseball,
like and
doing
then
our own thing.
And did y'all talk in that year?
We would.
Or what's up?
It was just like a hey, what's up? And it wasn't like. It was like I would say like 2 weeks I was in the fall league, and we were just like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Everything cool? Like
I think we were just so busy at that point too.
Yeah, like I was doing my thing, she was doing her thing, like.
And one thing I'll say was like. Talking to him and trying to at some point trying to get his attention was not the easiest. He was like just so headstrong and like so much in a zone. Yes.
Was that attractive to you?
It was, weirdly.
Well, because I think that was Renee's attraction to me, was this drive I had to make it.
Yeah.
Like I was going to make it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She knew that. Like before, I think
I'm asking you, was that something that...
ambition is sexy, for sure. Regardless of what profession it's in, yeah.
Well, right, the ambition, the hunger.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Like, honestly, like she said, like, I didn't mean for it to come off like that. But
I just knew what he wanted, I was like he was just automatically
I wanted it, and I wanted it bad. Like, I was like, yeah.
But so, I mean, people want it bad all the time.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between you and them? Do you want it badder?
No.
Do you want it more? Or
there's little things.
Does there have to be a perfect world of talent?
There's some
natural ability,
luck. There's some luck in there, like, but you create your own luck.
I agree.
Off of what you do.
Yeah, but you're also how tall, and you're how tall?
We're not talking about me playing baseball. What the fuck? I'm a comedian.
You're lucky to be a comedian, though. He isn't so lucky. He doesn't have that.
But so that whole year, you guys are just kind of, what's up? You're still dating?
This is
numbnuts?
It was kind of falling off.
You just call him numbnuts.
That's what we're gonna call him, numbnuts. He's a dummy. He fucked up.
It was a long distance relationship to start off with. Yep.
Well, when you live in Alice, they're all long distance relationships.
So it was just already kind of falling off, the long distance thing. And he came back again a year later.
Like November.
After this.
It wasn't after the year. It was still it was October, November. And then I came back at the end of November, and we had met September 30th, right?
Yeah.
So then October, I go and play baseball.
Almost a whole year, right?
No. October, November, the 2 months.
Yeah, it's just 2 months.
It's 2 months. So then we come back in those 2 months after the fall league. The fall league's usually like a month and a half. I get done with that. I come back home, and then I'm getting ready for the off season from November to February.
Right.
So, or December to February, whatever it is. And then that's when we kind of
went on our first date.
Who asked who?
A real date.
Who asked who?
Yeah, who asked who on a date?
I asked him on our date. I was like, do you want to go to a Spurs game?
No, but you have to because I think that
I couldn't stop him. Like he was just here.
But that's what I mean. As a dude, a date to us is like, well, let's go party. Let's go to a bar. Like, you want to go have drinks?
No, I don't even know if it was like that. I just think it was I was like, dude, I'm
busy.
Dude, I'm like, I need to work on this.
I'll never forget when we kind of just, we started talking. My brother-in-law came to me after talking to you and said, he is in love. And I said, what do you mean? And, I'm like, with me? Yeah. And he's like, he's in love with baseball. And he was like, good luck.
So, what one of my favorite movies is For Love of the Game. You know the movie?
Yeah. You can watch it over and over again.
And there's a line in there where she looks at him and goes, haven't you ever loved something so much And he goes, yes, in 86.
Yeah.
I won the World
Series.
Yeah.
You know?
But like to her brother-in-law, he got it. Like he was like, oh dude, this dude's like passionate. Like he was like hammering me. He was questioning me. Like I had went over to like her sister's house and he was just like, we were having a good time. It was like kind of like a party and he was just like, so what do you like to do? And I'm like,
Play baseball.
Play baseball, hang out with my family, work out.
Play baseball.
Like I read a little bit. And he's like, oh, that's cool. Is there anything else? And I'm like,
baseball.
I mean, like movies. I like movies. Like I like the Cowboys. I like the Spurs. Like I don't know what else you want to know.
I don't know
like
what's going
I don't
on
know
right
what.
now.
And he's like sitting there, like just like kind of.
He's known me since kindergarten,
So
so
he's
like
like
drilling me
This
questions.
is like an uncle, like a dad, like a brother.
like
big brother.
I'd say like
a big brother.
Like a big brother.
Like a big
and
brother.
he's like, oh, and like finally he was just like, what do you like? Like why do you play? He asked me, why do you play? And I'm like, what do you mean why do I play? I was like, I could take you down the road. Look at my house. Look at my parent. Like, look at my mom. I was like, my dad passed away, but like, I always carry that passion. I was like, look at my family. Like,
Right.
That's why I play. And I remember the look in his eyes. I remember, and I guarantee if I bring it up to him like today, that was the day he was like, he's good.
You know, and that's funny you say that because I talk about that with Renae all the time. It's struggle. When you have struggle in life, it's such a driving force. It was for me, right? And when I look at my son and I go, man, this kid's not going to struggle.
Yeah.
How do I find that driving force inside of him?
For him.
You know, because for you it was, I'm getting out.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to take care of my mom. I'm going to take,
Yeah.
For me it was, I don't have a choice. This is what I want to do. Nobody's going to give me anything, So there is that passion. Again, probably attractive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, once we started dating, I was like, okay. Like,
Okay, so you're dating now.
Yeah.
We're dating now. We're doing long distance because he's obviously.
I was in Frisco at the time. I went from high to double A. It was my first year in double A.
He had just got promoted to double A in Frisco.
Are you making games? Are you going to?
I'm driving at 9 p.m. after working at Louis Vuitton straight to Frisco for the next home series in Frisco.
And
for
I'm
a few
coming.
days.
I'm coming from like Midland.
Not well.
Like,
So
we're
it
meeting.
was.
But again, you got all these guys your age. They're going into the league, right? Do any of them have girlfriends?
Yeah.
Some
Guys have wives. Guys have girlfriends.
No, but I
kids.
mean, it's an age where there's a lot of playing.
It's about for
You
sure.
know.
In the minor leagues, more girlfriends, I would say, than wives. A lot of the guys are young, but there were some families.
Yeah, there were some families
along
for sure.
the way. Yeah.
For sure.
So then in your head, you're like, I got Markie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to the league.
Yeah. Like,
And then, were y'all talking about this at this point? And
I mean,
how are we going to make it
started
work?
getting
What's going to
more
happen?
serious.
Yeah. It got serious. She ended up moving up.
Moved to Frisco, transferred schools, transferred jobs.
You transferred schools?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
So
a big
then-
deal. And so my family was like, are you
Yeah.
really doing this? And I was like, yeah.
And you're not
And
even
I
a pro
felt
yet.
it.
You're
I
a
was
pro,
like,
but you're not in the league.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So then that's when we spent our first off season in Dallas like together, and then it just so happened that there was something
growing inside.
Yeah.
We got pregnant with Josiah, our firstborn, and then I feel like everything just went 100 miles per hour after that.
Well, but it's scary too because it's like, okay, we're gonna have this kid. We probably should be married, but I have this career.
Yeah.
That
It
I
was
gotta
very
work
scary.
on.
It was
Right.
scary, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was like, for me, I was like, all right, now I know
We were-
I have to, and I
we
know
were
I want
living in an
to.
apartment with a roommate who was a pitcher on the team. I had just moved there.
Yeah.
We're all kind of just like splitting rent and, figuring it out.
Right.
And I had some family there, so I think that was like the cushion of
that's
me
right,
moving
yeah.
up there. I felt a little, a
Yeah.
little more secure. I had some family there. So, but once we found out that I was pregnant, it was just kind of like, okay.
This
Again,
is
like
us.
he went into this like zone thing again and everything just
I
fell
was just
into
like,
place.
I was like,
One of my favorite stories that you told me. So at this point, are you playing catcher?
yeah, I'm catching.
Okay, so tell the story
catching.
about you going into camp and you being a shortstop.
Yeah, this is when I got drafted. When I got drafted my first year, 2014, I had played some catcher in college and some in high school, but nowhere near like that I should be playing a professional
Right.
sport at this position. Like, there's no way. Like,
You're
now
shortstop.
I go back and look at it, and I'm like, oh, dude, don't show me those videos. That's humiliating.
know.
Like, I'm like,
I have comedy shit, dude, online that I'm like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, why was I doing this? Why was I doing this?
Away.
So I get to Spokane, Washington. This is my short season. You play like 50 something games, and then your season's done. You go in the off season. So I get to short season. I just got out of college, and I get to my locker, and I'm like, well, this is my locker. Why is there this big ass bag right here? Like, whatever.
It's a catcher's bag.
It's a catcher's bag. So I'm like, whatever. I pick it up, move it, and I'm getting undressed. Like, I'm like getting ready to go outside or like whatever we got to do.
Right.
I had no clue. I was just like, first year guy. I was like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to be rude, like anything like that. So I'm getting dressed, and a coach peeks his head around the corner. He goes, hey, what's up, Trevino? And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, did you get that bag? And I'm like, the big one?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, the catcher's gear. And I'm like, yeah, I got it. I was like, I moved it. Whose is it? And he goes, it's yours. And I'm like, it's mine. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'll meet you outside in 15 minutes. You got gloves? And I'm like, yeah, I got infield gloves.
Right.
And he's like, no. You got an agent? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, tell him to overnight you 2 catcher's mitts. Get your gear on. I'll see you outside in 15 minutes.
No shit.
You were in Spokane?
I was in Spokane, yeah.
And that was it?
Pretty much. Like, I ended up catching like 12 or 15 games.
What is it in you that they saw?
I think the leadership, I think the leadership thing.
Well, because
like,
a lot of people don't realize that the catcher's the quarterback.
Yeah, so like that kind of stuff, like being able to like take control of a certain amount of guys, like a pitching staff. And
not only that, you being smart enough to know the game. You have to know the game better than everybody.
You have to know the game a lot. Yes.
You know, you have to know who's pitching and how to pitch them. And,
yes,
you know,
all of that.
When I watch my dad watch baseball, which is a lot different than the way I watch baseball.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad's like, "Oh no, they're gonna pitch this guy outside."
Yeah. So you have to know all that, and I guess that's kind of what they saw. Is like I was a student of the game, had an IQ of baseball, so they were like, yeah. So then I caught like 12 or 15 games in the first half of the season of that short season, and then the second half of that season, I caught like there was like 40 games. I might have caught like 36 of them.
Wow.
And then after, dude, I was so bad. I promise you, I was so bad, like terrible. I sat in a dark room with a notepad, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to write down like what I need to get better at. I remember there being like a little light because it was during the daytime, and it was like a little light shining through the window, and I was just writing down like what I need to get better at. And I like stopped, and I was like, all right, do I want to be a big leaguer? Yes.
Is this my path?
Is this what I want? Is this it? Like, do I have to be a catcher? And I said yes, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be the best damn catcher I can be. And like, from that day forward, dude, I got my signing bonus. I built a batting cage in my backyard. I ordered a pitching machine, and I blocked baseballs like you'll never like believe. Bruises on my wrist, bruises on my hands, collarbones messed up, getting bruises on the inside of my legs. Didn't know how to block a baseball. Barely could catch one too. Like it was hard, like for me. And then I just kept practicing. I went to a winter camp in January.
But you've always known him as a catcher.
I have.
Yeah, she's always known me as a catcher. So she thinks I'm she saw the flower. She didn't She didn't see the thorns.
Yeah, no, really, right.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I was like, dude, like, holy crap. Like,
I got to do this.
I have to do this. Like, if this is what's going to get me to the big leagues, I have to do it.
Well, so. I remember hanging out with you not too long ago, and you were like, I was like, hey, we're going to do this. And you're like, no, I got to practice. I go, oh, the team has training? You're like, no, I do. Yeah,
and
I was like, wow, all right,
that's discipline.
Yeah. Discipline. So like, I'm telling you, like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be. And I went to a winter camp in January, and they were like, holy crap, this dude like improved. And I didn't know, like, I just was
kept playing.
I just did it,
right.
And then and then the rest was history. I became a catcher.
So, you guys are dating. You're knocked up, about to have a baby. Mm-hmm. Marriage has to be a conversation.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
Yeah. But it was hard though, because like the minor league salary, like you never know what the future holds for you in baseball until it's like certain.
Well, we were talking about that today, like, you know, just us chatting around. Even for me, there's anxiety all the time of is my career going to continue?
Yeah.
Right? Am I going to make more money next year? Mm-hmm. You know, at one point, Renae and I were like, hey, we need to run our life like this is as much money as we're going to make forever.
Yeah.
Because this might be
for sure
where my career stays, right? So it's scary.
Like I like sometimes we plan like 5-6 months ahead in advance. Like I'm like, hey, like this is what we gotta do. This is what we got, because you never know. Like
Baseball's
nothing.
Just so.
It's uncertain. Like you never know what's gonna happen.
So I want to talk about that for a second, because I cannot imagine wanting to be a big leaguer. I can imagine wanting to be a big leaguer because I wanted to be, right? I wanted to play ball. Every kid does. But I can't imagine putting in your life's work, working hard, the bruises, all the things, right? To then go into the season, finally get called up, and it's basically coronavirus.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Did the timing happen that way?
I got called up in 18 for 3 days. That's the Father's Day game. And I got called up in July 19. So that wasn't like that wasn't the full meal. That was just like a bite of it. Mm-hmm. And 2020 was supposed to be like, like you're going to go out there, you're going to compete for a spot. This could be yours. And then I was like, dude, I went into spring training and I was like, I'm taking everybody out. Like, bring them. Bring on anybody and everybody who you got, bring them to me, and let me go head to head with every single one of them. You know, like that's where I was. I was like, dude, I'm on it. And then COVID hit and I was like, dang it. But what's crazy is that I played in the first game and I got a foul ball and I broke my finger. Nobody really remembers this, but I ended up breaking my finger off a foul tip. COVID happened. I came home, healed up, and then went back for spring training.
So it's almost a blessing.
Almost a blessing in disguise, dude.
Right.
Holy, it was like
There's
crazy.
a lot of those in baseball. It's so weird.
Yeah, there's a ton of blessing in disguise like in baseball. You talk to baseball players, they'll be like, yeah, this happened, but then this happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
So so then I broke my finger and I was like, all right, I'm good.
I got an opportunity to get better.
Get better and get back on track to where I was. And sure enough, 2020 came around and I ended up making the opening day roster in 2020. And then last year...
then last year was a short season. Or
that
a rush season.
2020 was the short season.
Short season, then last year was the rushed.
It was a full season, but it was like... Yeah, it was like a quick turnaround.
Well, that was the thing. Like calling you. So let's get into that a little bit, because we kind of went through the same thing. You know, where before coronavirus, we had this rhythm.
Yep.
You know, I was making enough money that I could take weeks off, be with my family. Right. Coronavirus happens, and then all of a sudden Renae and I are like, "Oh my God, we got to go back to work," and we hit hyperdrive.
Yeah.
Right. So then there's not enough of this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So how was it adjusting? Got a baby at home. Jose's gone all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely hard. I think 2020 was, on everybody, the hardest year of all. We had to follow like these hardcore protocols and rules through the MLB. And
I remember I couldn't see you.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Could not.
We
leave
actually,
our house.
I can say this now. I actually broke protocol in 2020. So
very little, but
very little. But I went to When I saw you, I was like, bro, I gotta be like quick. Like
I gotta hang and I gotta go. Right.
But,
any move we made out of the house to be around family, like outside family, we couldn't return back to our household until we had a negative test, and it was just
crazy,
a long.
Dude. It was nuts.
So it's hard to get married.
Wow.
It's hard to get married when you're.
Yeah,
you're all of a sudden you're pregnant. All of a sudden you go to the league. All of a sudden coronavirus is happening. All of this is happening in your life.
Yeah, and on top of that, I don't know if people think that baseball players get paid in the off season. They don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
Right.
So minor leaguers don't get paid in the off season, and that was another thing for us. Is okay, we gotta save up. We gotta do this, and obviously I want to marry her one day.
We got a plan.
We got a plan for it. I had a plan for it. I was like, okay, I need to be in the big leagues for a year, because then I can buy a
paycheck.
Ring. I can buy a ring, take care of Josiah, take care of her, take care of us, take care of everything. Be like, all right, we're good. And sure enough, that's when this year.
I think our first priority when we found out we were pregnant with Josiah, because it was unexpected. It was just making our family, making sure we were just okay. Yeah. First of all, First
and not only that, getting out of the roommate situation, becoming a home.
Right. For sure. Yeah.
So marriage was always, we knew it was there and coming. Yeah. We just knew that there had to be other things.
There was time. We needed time. I needed time.
Minor leagues were a grind.
Dude, yeah, dude,
it's nobody. I don't think anyone really understands. You go to a Hooks game, or in our case, Frisco Rough Riders game, and it looks so fun, and it's just so glamorous, to see they have families. I bet that's so fun. They get to do this.
They go to the games all the time.
Yeah,
tickets,
but what they don't see
tickets.
What they don't see is the 0 for 30 that we're coming home with, like, damn, I might get cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like the 0 for 20, like, shh. Like,
well, and stress like that, and I know it creates a hard time for the relationship.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this weekend, you know, because I knew I was going to do the Pollstar Awards, I was not my best.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I was not the best husband I could be. I wasn't the best dad I could be this week because I'm like, you know, ready to snap. And then Renee's like, whoa, like, I guess we'll leave.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I don't want you to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I think I do.
Dude,
Can I please?
and there are moments like that in baseball where she's kind of like, but she's like been the best at it. Like, I thank God every day. Like, this is what he gave me. Like, because there's some days where I'm like, oh, dude, I'm telling you, like, what do you know about scouting reports? What do you got? Dude, I'm on my, dude, I make sure that I am like, literally, like, there's no stone like unturned when it
We
comes to
wake
scouting
up.
reports.
Let's go through a day in
All
the
right.
season. So he wakes
she
up
probably has my
always
routine down,
before
for
me.
real. Yeah, always.
Always I sleep in.
Yeah, me too.
Hello.
I always wake up before her.
So anyway, he wakes up. He, usually makes.
This is a game day.
This is a game day.
This is a game day. He'll make oatmeal with peanut butter.
I do it in the off season.
Like every day. Every day.
I'll eat oatmeal
The same
peanut butter
thing.
every day.
And then I wake up and he's sitting at the table doing his scouting reports. And
What time is that at? Probably like 10:30.
yeah. And then from the minute he's done having breakfast to when he walks out the door, he's doing scouting reports. So that means going through every pitcher, every hitter, and being the catcher. And of course, I knew nothing about this when we
Right.
met, but I've learned.
You're like, oh
So-
shit, this is work.
Yeah, no, seriously.
You don't just put on a uniform and play ball.
No, dude.
He has to study the hitters and the pitchers because he faces them
Yeah.
and he
Catches
Catches
His own
Yeah,
pictures,
yeah.
right?
so he's doing that and then he leaves at noon. And then the game's not until 7. And then he showers, treatment, all that kind of stuff.
And then there's always, like me on show day, there's always 50 family members
Yeah.
that are like, where do I park?
yeah.
And you're like, I'm fucking trying to, like,
But that's
How about
kinda,
you Google it?
That's
How about you
gonna,
Google
that's
it? Yeah.
that's just like, hey, like.
but you've kind of taken over that.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Renee is kind of like,
Yeah.
you know.
You have to, because
Yeah.
it's just if not. So we don't get home. When we were living in Dallas, we lived in Frisco. So Frisco to Arlington was about a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
So again, he'd make that trip every day to and from. We'd go separately to the game because he'd be there
I'd
early.
be early.
So Josiah and I would go. We'd get there for the game, and then we wouldn't head home until
11. Sometimes I'd sit there with my
Sometimes
buddies
later.
and just like
I
have
mean-
dinner.
have a
at
moment,
11.
but have a moment.
Yeah, we'd just hang out,
Yeah.
maybe like have a drink or something and just like chill, like
Right.
relax.
we'd
Like,
head home. Like we wouldn't always wait on him because
Yeah.
we had separate cars.
But we're talking about 150,
162.
162 games a year.
Dude, I'd come home. I'd leave and I'd come home, and what would I do?
So comes home, opens his journal again. Like there's no downtime for him.
Scout report for the next day for the next pitch.
Yeah, because you're playing
Like
series.
you're saying, sometimes you can't be the best dad, husband, whatever you do for a living as well. So in those times, I'm of course in the back of my head like I just want to sit down.
I want my
have a
husband. I want my
drink.
guy.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, watch a show. So
Yeah.
like we just
Well,
sometimes we don't get that.
And it's
So,
hard too as a dad too, because man, it's like sometimes I just want to squeeze my son.
Yeah.
Right, I want to be with my son. I want to squeeze him. But the problem is that we want all of it,
Yeah.
and you just can't.
At one time, you want all of it at one time.
Our
It's like-
friend Corey, you met Corey,
Yeah.
who Proctor. Corey told Renae and I one time. He goes, "Man, if you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else."
Mm-hmm.
And the more that we Delilah's losing her shit. We're saying no to Delilah right now. The more that you say yes, you also have to say no, and it really gets hard because especially for yourself, where who knows how long a baseball career lasts.
Yeah.
I can do comedy till I'm 80,
Yeah.
God willing. You can't play baseball till you're 80, and I got really upset the other day with a stranger because the stranger goes, "Finally, Tom Brady retired. God, you should have retired forever." And I go, "Dude,
Like,
fuck
crazy.
you."
Yeah.
I go,
that's-
"You're gonna go tell a man
Quit your dream.
to quit what you
Yeah.
fucking love to do every day
briefly.
because you just can't
People are-
Yeah.
anymore?"
It's crazy. Like you see Tom Brady, like guys like that, like they get to choose when they're done.
Right.
You know how many baseball players don't get to choose when they're done?
Well,
like,
I mean, we were talking before the trade.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't know if I'm going to be a Ranger.
Yeah. You never know, man. You just you really just never know. And like I've always said, I would love to be a Ranger for life. Like that would be a dream come true. Like I'm from Texas.
Boy.
Like, dude, that's perfect. Like for me, Texas across my chest. Are you kidding me? Like I love Whataburger. I love everything about Texas, dude. I love everything about Texas. Like
stay here.
It's
we
perfect.
don't want to leave.
But like if the opportunity, if the grass is going to be green on the side and we don't know that, then it is. It is what it is. But like I said, like I would love to wear Texas across my chest forever, but you just never know.
And do you think, for me, I remember my dad goes, you travel this country to end up with a girl from home.
Dude.
And I go, yeah, but there's something special about Renae and I both knowing exactly where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's something.
For sure.
We're on the same page on a lot of things. There's, we understand South Texas.
Yeah.
I laugh when you say that we're on the same page about so many things because I think about all the things we disagree on, and I'm like, we're on the same place, and yet we still disagree on so much.
But it's okay to disagree, but to at least understand where I'm coming from.
I know what
Or why.
Why
you're coming from this.
Yeah.
That's
I dated other girls, and they didn't. I remember I was dating this one girl. No offense, she's really pretty. But she could not understand how country I was. She's like, "What do you mean you're country?" And I'm like, "Why do you wear cowboy boots?" And and I'm like, Varsity Blues, that movie? I'm like, that's how the fuck I grew up. And she was like, "Oh, I thought that was a movie." I mean, yes, it's a movie, but Renae knows where I come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there something you think
sure.
for you guys?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that?
Yeah. We grew like, if you take her house and my house, like where we grew up from, like maybe like 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Yeah. Like, so like she was in Alice, I was in Ben Bolt, but like.
We didn't go to the same
high school or anything, but like it's South Texas. Like
right.
You might as well go to the same high school.
She went to the Walmart in Alice.
That's right. Yeah. But like she definitely understanding of like where you're coming from, why you're coming from.
Yeah.
Right.
This, speaking from this area.
Angle right.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna get married, obviously, right? Getting the ring and proposing.
Dude.
Was that the most
crazy shit?
Nerve-wracking shit.
Dude, crazy shit. Check this out. So like I'm in California. I'm like, yes. I'm talking to my agent, dude. I'm like, Brian, we got it. I got to get this ring, dude. Like, I want to get this ring. Dude, so he connects me with Peter. I'm pretty sure his name is Peter. Peter, I have him under Peter and Diamond. So he connects me with Peter, and I'm like, Peter, look, bro, like, I need to find. And he's like, well, what is she like? And I'm like, oh, shit. So you know what she's been doing for the past 4 or 5 years?
Yes, of course. I like this, I like that. If you're gonna get me something, it's the same woman.
Dude, I'm telling you. So she's sending me all this stuff, dude. I literally have screenshots of like rings. So I'm sending him to this guy.
Did it not help you out?
Dude, so I'm sending him to this guy.
Like I said, it did not help him out.
My ring was before screenshots.
So she's sending him on Instagram. So I'm like, all right, screenshot. And she's like, this one. So I sent him to a guy, and he's like, oh, we can do that. And he's like giving me all the like, well, this is like a circle and oval. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Just get me a damn, this one right here. This is the one I want. He's like, okay. Dude,
well,
so
the cut, the clarity.
Dude, so I get I have the ring, and it's like, well, I don't get the ring, but it's ordered. It's like ready to be sent to me. And she wanted, so if you look at her ring, she wanted a gold band.
Oh, shit.
And it was silver. So I was like, bro, you got to fix that. Like, you have to fix that.
I have to have gold.
It needs to be gold.
You don't know this woman.
So I'm like, it has to be gold. Like, it has to. She's like, all right, let me redo it. So it was supposed to go down, I don't remember the day, September 14th.
Oh, so you had like a date scheduled on the calendar that you were going to
I was going to do it in New York because she'd never been to New York.
Uh-huh.
So like, I was going to do it in New York at like, Times Square.
But again, 2 South Texas kids.
Yes.
In New York, and you're just going. Wow.
We literally did that. We went to Times Square, and we were like,
we did everything. So I've always dreamt of going to New York, and so before the season even started, I looked at the schedule and it said,
same fucking people,
"You're playing in New York this day, for this long. I'm buying my flight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's happening, but I'll be there.
So in my head, I'm like, yes, like this is perfect in New York. We go to.
That's how I felt, because December 9th, my name is in Times Square.
Yeah.
I bet that was amazing.
And again, just both of us really understand like where we came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Like,
and then here you are walking into fucking Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unreal,
It's like
dude.
one of those full circle moments,
Yeah.
like.
I always remember who my second career home run was at Yankee Stadium. I don't remember who I hit my first home run off of. I do not remember.
Just the adrenaline.
I knew it was a 3-2 count, and I knew it was a fastball, but I just don't remember. I just don't remember that. But I do remember my second career home run. It was off of Tanaka, a slider. I hit it to right field. The reason why I remember is because I was a Yankee fan growing up. I loved Derek Jeter. My dad loved the Yankees. So if you go and look at the home run, I hit the home run, and I touched first base, and I point up, and I was like, that was for you, dude. Like, it was like, dude, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
I'm getting a little emotional.
Dude,
I know.
it feels when you play at Yankee Stadium, I'll say this, like, I loved it. Right. Like, the pressure, the people, the light. When they say the lights are brighter in New York and those big, dude.
It's no bullshit.
Boston's sick, too. But, like, Yankee Stadium has, like, I forgot what they call it. They call it something like the framing of it or something like that at the top of the stadium. It feels like every, like, Yankee legend is, like, sitting on the ledge, like, just looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, just watching you play. Like, it's crazy. Like when I stepped in, I was like, oh my God, this place is like literally a cathedral.
It's the cathedral.
So, dude, it was like unreal.
Dude, I can't even imagine.
So, like, that was the day that I was going to do it, was in New York. But yeah, so I didn't, the ring was not.
But it was a silver band,
it was a silver band, not a gold band.
So you had that.
No, I didn't have it. It was going to be sent to me.
So now what? You're coming to New York, and you're like, oh, well, ni modo, fuck it.
I'm ringless. So I'm like, all right, plan B, here we go. Like, we're good.
But were you like, it's happening?
No,
she had no clue.
I was clueless.
She had no clue, bro. I trust me, she had no clue. So I was like, dude, I could have done it, like, whatever. So then finally, like, we get back from the road trip from New York, and the box is sitting in my locker
there.
because I can't send it to the house because they like to if it's a package, guess what happens?
It's probably theirs.
So it's probably mine. I'll just open it. So I had it sent to the field, and I had them keep it at the field, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it in the off season. Everybody knew. All the guys knew.
I remember you telling me.
Yeah, all the guys knew too. All the guys were like, "Oh man, that's cool." I'm surprised none of those dudes ratted me out, but good job on my homie.
I mean, dudes are idiots and assholes.
So
but we also know when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So like nobody said anything, but yeah. Then October 15th.
Did it? For me, man. I mean, I'm a public speaker. Mm-hmm. I'm a confident person. I walk in any room and I'll talk to anybody. Right? I'll get into a confrontation. I ain't afraid to speak up. Like I am. But when it came to that,
oh, bro, hey, I probably had like. Well, the funny thing was that it was a Halloween party, and she wanted to dress up as the people from The Mask.
So,
Cameron Diaz.
Yes, Cameron. I was gonna wear.
Do you know what Jim
sequins
Carrey
dress.
wears with Cameron Diaz in the silver dress?
Dress.
He wears a yellow suit.
Yeah,
and
so
a green
mask.
Green case.
I ain't doing that shit.
Proposing.
I ain't doing that shit. So I was like, why don't we pick something else? So she went with
Danny and Sandy.
Which was Danny and Sandy?
From Grease.
Oh, Sandy.
Yes, all
Sandy.
night. He was doing that all
Sandy.
night.
Dude, so when it was time, it was no, I will not do it.
But you're nervous as shit, right?
Dude,
like
I was so nervous.
It burns a hole in your pocket.
Dude, literally, you're like, all right, is it there? Well, the thing was,
is it there?
I had it. It was in plain sight for her to see if she really wanted to. I had it in my backpack upstairs, just laying in my backpack. So if she would have just opened my backpack, like she'd be like, oh yeah, that's definitely a ring. It was it was in the box too. There was no wrap. Right. There was no nothing. It was like a box. So.
And my wife is nosy as fuck. I'm surprised you didn't find it.
There's nothing for me in your backpack.
Yeah. See. So like, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
She's like, I already been through that backpack.
Yeah. So it's coming time, and my sisters are like, so what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna ask her. And they're like, you're not gonna do that. And I'm like, I'm just gonna ask her. And they're like, no, we have something. Like, let's plan this whole thing. We're gonna like give her like a cup.
So your sisters planned it.
My sisters
they
helped me.
Him.
Like,
they put
time.
together like a cute little proposal. But it was a box with.
So where was the party at
my house?
At our house. We had just moved into our house. So it was kind of like our first housewarming / Halloween party. So it was a costume party. It was really fun. And his sisters made a cute little box, and it had a wine glass that said Mrs. and then a mug that said, does this ring make me look engaged, right? Yeah.
No, dude, I was like, I had a couple shots of tequila before for sure.
It is.
There's anybody hey, if you want me to taste some tequila for you, go ahead.
But by the way,
you know.
What's even more fucked up is I knew she was going to say yes.
And you're
How
still
was that
like,
fucked up?
dude,
like you're still
like,
so nervous, and he's like, she's not gonna say no.
Oh yeah,
but I'm still nervous.
Still nervous. Like I was, dude. I called my buddy Nick Solak, didn't answer, and I'm like, oh, dude, who's gonna calm me down right now? Like nobody's gonna calm me down. It's me. Like I'm literally like, it's me. I got this. Right.
Like,
and then
and you're a big leaguer. You hit fucking home runs in
40,000
Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, there's 40,000 people coming to watch me, and I'm like just
right.
So like I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and I just like
they basically like brought the box to the living room. We had a DJ and everything in our living room, and they turned down the music and we're like, Markie, we have a housewarming gift for you. So they brought me to the center.
Did you at that point were you like, okay, something's up?
I was
come on, man.
No clue.
No. Because I was already having a good time. We had some drinks in us. I was just having fun. You know, I wasn't expecting it at all. And so they brought me the box and they were like, open it. So I opened it. And I literally went speechless. Like I couldn't speak, and I just read the wine glass on the mug and started crying. And I said,
"Are you on a knee?"
Yeah, behind her.
I said, "Where
nice.
is he?" Yeah. I was like, "Where is he?"
Where is that
And
asshole?
then so I turned around. He was on a knee, and
yeah,
I just started bawling. I was
Yeah,
like,
crying.
It's but again, right? Like you know you're gonna get married, and you know. But I tell people all the time, and it was my fault. You know, we waited 7 years to get married, and I really wish that we would have done it sooner.
Yeah.
You know, because there is something different about like, this is my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? This is my fiance.
Yeah.
There's just something.
But not even necessarily so much. We talk about this. Not even necessarily so much for us, but for our families.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
how that dynamic changed.
Yeah.
But
It was definitely weird though. Like when we'd go to places and I'd be like, "This is my girlfriend," and we like had a son. It was kind of like.
But not even the son, what you have for each other already, right? Like, I'm not a kid.
And then like when we got engaged, I was always like, yes, my fiance. You know, like.
No, but it's definitely a ride or die moment of like me and you.
Yeah.
We're fucking in this shit now for real.
Yeah.
Right. We've already been through a lot, but man, now this is my wife.
Yeah.
You know, and there is something different to the feeling of it, and I know you know, and it's like when they tell you about kids. When you don't have kids, you don't know that the love you have for your children is special.
Oh man!
And people tell you that, and they want to show you their fucking pictures before you have kids, and you're like, all right, your kid's not that cute, man. You know. But then you have a kid, and you're like, look, you want to see my kid? You want to see my kid?
Look at this guy. Look what he did today. Yeah.
It's really special.
Yeah.
You know. So when's the wedding?
New Year's Eve this
Oh,
year.
fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right down your road, actually.
Yeah. So
Where?
hopefully you're not doing anything. What's the place called? The Preserve?
It's here, Canyon Lake at the Preserve.
Oh, good for you guys. And it's getting crazy with the guest list and
No,
all the
not on my
all
side.
the Mexicans from Alice want to come.
Not on my side.
If you want to loot Ben Bolts,
Yeah.
do it on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
They're all going to be here.
They're all going to be in our wedding.
Way to go.
You probably check off
set us
Alice
up,
too.
Steve.
Bimbo and Alice. Go ahead. Just walk through. You're good.
But is it a challenge, you think, every day being with a big leaguer?
I would say in season, definitely yes. I mean, even in the off season, people probably think we sit at home and just hang out, but he's gone every morning by 6 a.m.
I remember you telling me. Hopefully I'll get to catch a practice.
Yeah. Come on, whenever.
Next week. I'm going to go next week.
I'll tell you my schedule.
Yeah.
I leave. I can't leave before or after 6:35 because San Antonio traffic is way worse than Dallas traffic.
Right.
So I leave at like 6:30. I get there about 7:05, 7:10ish. I stretch out, do my catching stuff from 8 to 9, and maybe 9:15 sometimes, and then from 9:30 to 11, 10:45 I hit, and then 11 o'clock we warm up. I work out. I get done. I come home.
Man, I can't wait. I'm going to come spend the day with you next week.
Dude, come on, dude. It's so
Very
fun.
excited
It's a lot of fun. I got a good group of guys, but they're leaving me soon because they're gonna go play.
Now,
keep practicing.
My last question to you, and this is a guy thing.
Okay.
But here I have this little boy that truly loves to play baseball. I don't make him bring me the bucket. I don't. I think there's two different kinds of dads. There's dads that are like, you have to be a baseball player and we have to practice. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, my situation is not like that, right? Garrett and I love playing ball together. He brings me the bucket and you know, he'll tell me, Dad, you haven't played with me.
Yeah.
Like he'll get mad at me, you know?
Yeah.
But in your opinion, what were the things when you were very young that helped you develop the love for the game?
Just what you said. I never got forced. Like, never ever did I get forced to play baseball at all. Like, my dad was always just like, yeah, if you want to practice. I was always the one like Garrett. I was always like, dude,
let's go play ball.
We got to practice. And then when it did get practice time, yeah, he was like, okay, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. You know what I mean? And like, I just never got forced to do it. And I fell in love with it because you can be the best one day and you could be at rock bottom the next. But you still you have to be, you know, cool. And it teaches you about life. Like, it really does. Like, if you look inside the game, you look at players inside the game, like when you're good in life, your mood's so happy and everything like that. And when you're good in baseball, like, people's moods are happy all the time. Like,
what's that inning goes bad.
Yeah, so they go bad and people are mad. Like, you know, like, I think baseball shows, like, even though things are going bad, like, at some point it'll turn in your favor. And I feel like that's kind of like how life is. Like, even though shit gets crazy, like, it's going to get crazy. For everybody, it gets crazy. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what your name is. Shit's going to get crazy for you.
Of course.
And it's about how you handle it and how you can make it through it. That's what I think. And I feel like that's kind of the example of baseball.
And I told Garrett, you know, I said, he goes, I want to be a champion. He goes, how do you become a champion? And I go, champion practices every day, right? Yeah. So now he throws that shit in my face. So he comes to me, he's like, Dad,
practice.
I want to be a champion. We're supposed to practice, you know.
That's awesome.
But you know, I'm not the dad that's like, we have to play.
Yeah.
You know, every day we have to go out there and play. Yeah. I'm going to force you to play. And there's times where he's just not into it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, man, like, you're not into it.
Yeah.
You know, and if he makes a mistake, I don't get mad at him.
Yeah.
You know,
dude, it was, one thing about my dad was like hardcore. He wasn't like I said, he wasn't forcing me, but dude, that shit was so fun when I was a little kid, dude. But
it is our moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, he knows that he has my undivided attention, and it's me and father-son.
Yes.
And I'm on him. I mean, I expect him, because I'll tell him, I'm like, bro, you're gonna be wasting my time.
Yeah.
If you want to come out here and fuck off, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Dad, I'll fix it.
And it's a good thing too, because like, you keep him in check, but like, then you make it, because you make it fun, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, remember that game that we played? I want to play that again. Like, let's do it again.
All the time, man.
Dude, my dad would make practice the funnest thing, but hard.
That's how I do.
But it was so fun that you're like, oh, dude, it's over already.
We're always joking around, you know.
Dude, I can tell you, like, that I took that one thing, like, for sure from my dad. Like, when it comes to baseball, like, I can put my life on this. Like, when kids come to my catching camp, I know they are going to have fun, but I know they're going to work their ass off. Right. And that's what I'm going to teach Josiah. If he wants to play, I don't care.
Right.
If he doesn't want to play, cool, do what you want to do. Right. But I'm going to make sure.
Whatever you want to do it well.
Right. And try to be the best at it.
Right.
But like, it was always so fun for me. Like, whether it was like a running game, I hated to run. I don't want to run. Right. I'm a catcher now. Look, I don't want to run. But like, what we did, it was fun. We were like a hitting game, a defense game. There was always like fun and always like a competition surrounded by it. Yep. Like, you have to pick up the balls, or you don't have to pick up, like, there was always something fun, something.
It's funny you say that, because that's what I do with Garrett. Yeah. You know, I'm always, and he laughs because, you know, I mean, I'll tell him, I'm gonna smoke you. Yeah. I'm gonna smoke you right here, boy. And he's like, you ain't gonna smoke me.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll hit the ball hard to him, and he'll get it, he'll throw it to me, and I'll stop and go, thank you, Jesus. Yeah. I prayed for a ball player.
Yeah. So like, it was just always so fun. And like,
but it is a fun game.
It's so fun.
And I think that these guys that take it so seriously, that like you said, in baseball, things are gonna go bad. And when it's going bad, if you're gonna destroy yourself, game's over.
It's over. It's done.
Right? But if you're going to pick yourself up and go, I know how to play this game.
Yeah.
Just keep playing ball.
I have a saying. I don't know if anybody's ever said this, but like, I kind of was like, I was talking to some high school kids one time, and I was like, whoever said baseball is 90% mental and 10% physical was 100% right. Because like, dude, like,
it's a head game.
Whew.
Right. Ooh. I mean, you're in Yankee Stadium. Ooh. And like you said, the pressure, the feeling, the nerves. You know, I didn't play professional football or anything, but you know, it wasn't until that first hit,
dude,
that all the nerves went away.
Yeah.
But I'm over there freaking nervous and scared. And then once we hit, I'm like, oh, I'm playing ball now.
Dude, yeah.
You know,
I love that. Like, that's one thing, like, and I'll share this with everybody. Like, you can tell, like, when I'm taking it all in, because, like, before the game, and it's not on camera. It's never on camera. I know it's never on camera because nobody's ever said it. But, like, I'll grab the dirt, and I'll be like, all right, I'm here. Like, this is where I'm at. And, like, I'll look around, and I'll take, like, a big whiff. I'll smell, like, nachos, peanuts, whatever it is.
The whole thing.
Candy, barbecue.
Take it all in.
I'll look wherever I'm at. I'll look to the dugout over here. I'll look to the dugout over there. I'll look at the umpire. I'll look at fans. Like, I'll pick a fan out and look at him right in his eyes, and I'll be like, all right, they're here to watch
a ball game.
Let's go.
Right.
And, like, I'll grab the dirt, and I'll rub it on my pants. I'll rub it in my hands. Like, I'll be like, all right, I'm here. Let's go. Like, that's one of my things that I do before. Like,
well, Renae and I are so happy to be a part of y'all's lives, and hopefully we continue to be a part of your lives and your love story, because we love couples that love each other.
Yeah.
And we'd also like to have a lot of fucking fun together.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a lot of fun together. And man, I can't wait to watch you play ball again.
Yeah.
You know, I went to so many games this year because of you.
Yeah.
You know, to go root you on, to go watch you play, to go enjoy the baseball field. You did get mad at me because I went to the Astros game.
It's okay.
Yeah, I got a text.
I forgive you. I
got a text. You motherfucker. And I'm like, it's the World Series, and I got free tickets.
I forgive you for that one. I'll forgive you for that.
Hey Rick, you know I know you're a big sports fan. Detroit, unfortunately. Any questions? Yeah, any questions?
What's the favorite stadium to play in?
Dude,
favorite stadium to play in?
I'm gonna say ours.
I gotta give it to that stadium,
real,
man.
The stadium's unreal. Dude.
It is.
But honestly, I went to Fenway for the first time this year. Dude, I was like,
you're gonna hate me.
They did Sweet Caroline, and I wasn't playing that day. And I went behind home plate to warm up the pitcher because our other catcher was getting ready. Dude, I was like, this is it. Like, this is the best. This is crazy.
Clapping his hands.
Dude, I was like, this is great. I don't even know if we're winning or losing, but like, I was like, oh, this is so cool, man. But
sometimes you forget to be a fan.
Oh, no, I don't forget that. I'm a fan, dude. I let people know, too. I'm like, dude, you're such a good baseball player. Like, you're a good player, man. Like,
you know, so for me, you know, living in LA, I fell in love with Dodger Stadium.
Oh, dude, that
place. Because it feels like an old ballpark. Mm-hmm. It just feels like old baseball to me. You know, I love baseball, so I've been to, you know, Wrigley Field tripped me out because it was so small.
Yeah.
You know, I watch, you know, like us and WGN.
Yeah.
It's the only baseball you can watch.
That's how you're watching.
I thought it was huge.
Yeah.
So when I got to Wrigley, I was like, this is like a high school baseball field.
Yeah.
You know, but Dodger Stadium, and then I do got to say, spending time at the new Texas Ranger Stadium.
Dude, that place is nuts, dude.
I'm like, this is beautiful.
Honestly, what
awesome.
makes like the best, when people ask me, now that I think about it, people ask me like, what's the best place to play? It's the people that make that place the best place to play. Like, it's the people.
Right.
Yankee Stadium, the people. Red Sox, the people. Our stadium, the people.
Right.
Houston's a fun place
they
to
lose
play.
Their
dude,
shit,
those people get into it, dude. I love it.
They're baseball fans.
You know why I like it, though? Because it reminds me of home. That's how people are from South Texas. They're passionate.
And you do see everyone that you know there.
Oh, dude, and you're like, like, this is our, like, it's passion. Like, you love it. Like,
yeah, I mean, this year I went to go watch the Sitting Pirates because of, you know, the Chester boys.
Yeah.
I went to go watch them in the playoffs. I went to go watch GP, ended up in the playoffs this year. Yeah. And again, like you said, it's like
the people, dude. It's the community.
Man, it's
like
everybody,
that.
and you're yelling together and you're mad together and you know, everybody's shaking hands, you know, and Garrett's got in a fight behind me. And Garrett gets in a fight, and Pavelik just looks at me and goes, of course that's your son. Yeah. He goes, fucking shit, dude. He goes, your son's over there fighting, just like you. And I was like, I didn't fight. He's like, bullshit. He's like, you were a fucking bully. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Shit. I'm little. But guys, please look up Jose Treviño on Instagram. What is your Instagram?
Hip Hip Jose 5.
Hip Hip Jose 5.
Twitter and Instagram.
Markie. Marla Markie.
Don't be slipping into her DMs.
Yeah. No, you can. We have a Facebook too, Trevino's Toy Drive.
Yes.
Well, let's.
And I want to tell you, thank you for that. Like what you've done for.
Well, I had so much fun doing it with you, man, and the Treviño name, and another thing I admire about you guys is your willingness to give back.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And being aware that these little kids, you are their idol, right? And if you're a dick or if you're a jerk or if you don't give back, we've been given so much.
Yeah.
And the opportunity for me to be a comedian and for you to be a big leaguer, if you don't give back, something's truly wrong with you.
Yeah.
So tell them a little bit about how many toys you bought this year.
Oh, dude. Man, we this year we actually had a baseball tournament in Dallas, the Treviño Toy Drive Classic, which I'll get into something else that we're working on. But we had 50 teams.
Yeah.
50 teams, and this great man out of Dallas ran it, Laren Hampton, 24 Sports, like crushed it, dude. Like I've always wanted a baseball tournament named after me. Like I was like, dude, that's so cool. And the DFW community like showed out, dude. It was awesome. Crazy. We had SR Bats there. We had Tejas, T-shirt company.
Food trucks.
We had food trucks. Awesome barbecue.
An event.
It was crazy. It was and all my teammates like came out to sign. Like it was nuts. It was awesome. But yeah, I mean, we collected a bunch of toys for Once Upon a Lifetime or Operation Once in a Lifetime, and it's a military nonprofit that basically gets kids toys when their parents are overseas for Christmas.
Wow.
So, dude, it was unbelievable.
Well, you know that.
Dude, we filled up a whole last truck,
the veterans,
dude. You know, we filled up like a whole like Humvee, like a big Humvee that they carry stuff in.
Loaded.
And then they had to bring more trucks.
Wow.
Dude, it was crazy. And teams were bringing toys like crazy. Like, we're going to have that again. But I'm planning on bringing it to South Texas.
Well, and you know, together we've looked after each other and helped each other out. You know, with me with your toy drive and you with my Helicopters for Heroes. Yeah. We took veterans to Texas, the Ranger Stadium, and man, you showed up.
Dude, that was so fun. That was so cool.
And those guys,
I still get messages about that stuff too, which is pretty cool. Like
they were like shirts and hats. I mean, they were just over the moon with what you were able to do for them, and it's stuff like that, man, that to me is the because it is hard work and it is sometimes very selfish, right?
Yeah.
That what we do is very selfish because it takes up a lot of our time. So to be able to give back and not be selfish, it just feels good.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said like one day I'm going to be walking down the street and someone's going to be like, who the hell is that guy? Who cares? Who cares about that guy? But while I have this right now, if a person stops me and asks me for an autograph, I'm signing that fucking autograph. Sure. Like I'm not gonna be like, hey, yo, not right now. I'll be like, no, man, that's cool. Like, what's your name? Like, because one day, I'm telling you, one day they're gonna be like, who wants that guy's autograph? I want Josiah's autograph. You know, like they don't care. They're not gonna care. But like while I have this, I'm gonna make sure to make the best out of it. Right. I saw something on the internet the other day that said like major leaguers don't change kids' lives, and I'm like, are you bullshitting me right now? Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to make sure that kids have someone to look up to and someone they can come to. Like,
and those kind words might have changed his whole trajectory.
You never know.
You know.
And I'm like,
Markie, on your part, and Renae shares a lot of me. Is it sometimes hard to share Jose with everybody?
It's definitely hard. I mean, just baseball in general. I mean, it takes it in baseball season. It's 50-50, if not less. I mean, some days, if we're being honest, you know? Yeah. And just like you said earlier, you're not your best every single day of the year. So the days that he's not his best, I have to take up that load. The days that I'm not my best, he's got to be at the field. Yeah. So
well, that's what I was going to say. Sometimes we
can't. I have to share him with the field. You know? And it's just something that we have to like work through and live through. But we do it.
It's not perfect, man. Like I don't care what anybody says. Like, I don't think any couple's perfect. Everybody's going to have their flaws. They're going to fight. They're going to argue. But, like, it's how you get through it together.
But I will say that Renae does know, and I think Markie does too, that this is what pays our bills. This is our passion. This is what we love to do. And Renae respects it enough to not, Tuesday when I'm stressing the fuck out because I got to do this show for Pollstar, Renae's like, I'll leave. She didn't yell at me. She wasn't upset with me. You know what? I'll take the kids down up here because this is your job and I'm going to give it to you. And I think behind every great man is a greater woman.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, like I'm Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, now Wednesdays because season's getting closer. Dude, I'm at the facility like working out and I don't get home till 2:00, 2:30. And she's there just holding it down.
Handling it.
holding it down.
And I bet you she hands you your son sometimes and goes, fucking, please help me.
Those days are fun for me because I just wear them out, dude. I'm just like throwing them around and running around and throwing balls at him and everything. But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like, it's not easy, but she does an awesome job.
Well, all of you guys, hit up Hip Hip Jose 5, please. And man, we love you guys. I think it was an amazing episode.
Yeah, poor Rick is going to have to edit this like really, really long episode in a short amount of
Sorry,
time.
Rick.
Sorry, Rick.
We love you, buddy. Thank you, and good night.